Hey, it's Guy here from Off My Bridge, and if you haven't yet seen it, we're talking about the latest release from Modiphius Star Trek Adventures 2, The Exploration Guide. Oh, we have needed this for quite some time, and although there are other resources out there that allow you to do this, the guide has brought it all together into a single package. And what is the Exploration Guide? Effectively, it is some cool stuff, and then the bulk of it is creating an entire sector of space. Not just a planet, not just a solar system, an entire sector, a collection of systems. So today I'm going to give you my review of this book, which they have very kindly sent me, and also we will be creating an entire sector live so you can see exactly how the book works. To kick it off, do I think this book is worth it or not? I absolutely do. I think it's really packed full of useful things, useful tools, and most importantly, what they've included, and you're going to see later on, are useful points of inspiration for you as a creator and a game master. It really is doing what it should do for what it was purported to do. And so that's very positive. That's very positive. Okay, so jumping into it very quickly, what they have done straight off the bat is create some new career paths for you to follow. There's some new values, there's some new traits. It's really cool. You want to play an archeologist? Well, this is the book for you. They've added in some interesting new things called secret traits or values. They work beautifully. When you add a secret trait or value, your character gets a negative to certain stats or certain abilities because of this secret weighing them down and doing certain things to them. Once the secret comes out, as invariably it will do in some amazing role-playing on your player's behalf, I'm sure, once it comes out though, the burden is removed and other things get put in place, the secret is no longer a secret, but of course your characters are always free to develop new secret values or traits. I think it's a really cool idea. Now, once the players are happily creating their archaeologists or frontier scientists or whatever it is that they want to create, you as the game master are now given the opportunity to create an entire sector. And I don't think that we realize just how strong that is. If anybody ever came to me and said, how and what is the easiest way to create a campaign within Star Trek Adventures 2, and some of you have asked me to do those videos, which if you gave any suggestions to the poll that I ran on the YouTube channel in the community tab, I really appreciate it, and most of your videos will be coming up, so watch this space. A big thank you. And if you do have any more suggestions for videos, head on over to the community page. I regularly ask for content updates, although to be perfectly honest with you, and I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but I'm going to because I like you. I've got videos planned until January 2026. Oh yes, there's so much to talk about and I love it. I absolutely love it. Anyway, keep those suggestions coming in. Right, so creating a sector gives you a whole bunch of star systems. It gives you an entire campaign. You literally are looking at this entire little micro space within the Star Trek universe that you can do with as you wish. And isn't that fantastic? And each of the planets, each of the systems is going to be throwing adventures at you saying, hey, play me, this is a cool adventure, this is a cool adventure. And then all you have to do as the GM is sit back and either decide that you're going to be going episodic, in which case each of those adventures happen and conclude, and your crew and their ship sail on to the next one in the next adventure session, or you can create an epic campaign by simply linking all of those different systems, different planets together into a homogeneous whole. And that is so much easier than sitting there with a blank piece of paper going, I don't know what my campaign should be. I have no inspiration at all. Well, sectors will provide that. And I think that's really one of the most powerful things about having a book like this is that factor. There are some beautiful pieces of art within the book. The entire creation process is very straightforward and very simple, and I think very elegant. What they have done, which I really appreciate, is that they have broken it down sector, down into system, down onto the planets. And when they get to the planet scale, that's when they really start to give you even more support and hand-holding. That's when they start to describe different biomes. I'm very, very impressed. I really am. It's a great resource. So once you've created your planet and you go, oh, it could be a desert planet. Oh, what do I know about desert planets? What should a desert planet have on it? This book has got you covered. It's got your back. It will show you exactly what you could be doing. It will inspire your creativity and make your games absolutely awesome. So it is a complete package. It really is. And of course, once again, it's in that beautiful layout that they have come up with. I think it's worth it. I'm going to give it my stamp of approval going, yes, this is a book I would probably buy if they hadn't sent me a copy already. Remember, of course, financial security before gaming, but it is something worth picking up. Now, I promised you that we were going to actually use the book to create a system so you could see the book in action, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. If you are not so inclined to watch this second half of the video, I thank you for watching all the way through to this part of the video. I really do, and I encourage you to go and check out the book. You can pre-order it from their webpage at the moment of this video's release, and links are down below. Okay, so now let's jump in to creating our own system. And I just need to switch to the screen here, which is sector generation, as you can see. And we've got a table there that we need to roll on. So I'm just going to roll my trusty D20 here. A 14. So that means our sector has got 7, and I've got to write this down because I'm old. Sector has got 7 notable systems. Notable systems, right? So I'm just writing this down, and it's very old-fashioned for Star Trek. I'm literally just writing it down on my notepad. So sector has 7 noticeable systems. Great. Now, when we look at it, here is the flow chart. You create the number of systems, you create the phenomena, you create the density, you create the name, you move on and so forth and so on. And that's what we're going to be doing. Right, so let's get into it. Stars, the type of stars. So we need 7 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so here we go. We've got an 18, which is a type G. We've got a 4, which is an M class. Not M class, type M star. Type M star. The nomenclature is important so we don't get confused with the planet types. 8 is another M type. Lots of M's. Got some interesting little K's floating around. One last roll, a 14 is a type K. So we've got a type K, a type G, and then the rest are type M's. Very cool, very cool, very cool. And type M's smallest, coolest, basically slightly smaller than ours, all the way up to the type K, I think. Or no, still smaller than ours. Type G are big and last for a long time. Okay, fantastic. Right, we didn't have any special types, so there we go. Luminosity, do we need to worry about that? No, I don't think so. I do think that it is really cool that you can, though. And maybe when you're designing your campaign, you can include luminosity as being one of the key aspects of that particular adventure. Okay, notable spatial phenomena around our planet, around our sun in this system specifically. I'm going to say that there's 7 of them. So again, let's see, 1 to 10, and I'm going to roll twice at the same time here. So System 1, type G star, does have spatial phenomena. System 2 does not. Spatial phenomena around the G-type star is a number 1, radiation storm. Oh no, it's actually listed, type stellar flare. Okay, stellar flares. 1. Great stuff. Next 2 planets, M and a K. The K has 1. All the strange planets have got 1. And so let's just roll for that quickly. A 20. Okay, type K. 20 gets another stellar flare type 1. No, you know what? That's boring. I'm going to knock it up 1 to an ion storm. And we know what those do, don't we? And if we don't, it's all in the book, which is what I really like. Next 2 system, is that right? 2, 4, yeah. Nope, nothing there. And then the last one, nope, nothing there either. Okay, so that's it. Moving swiftly along. Now, number of planets, which is really, really cool. And so let's see, our G-type star immediately has 0 modified to the number of planets. Here we go, and we're on 4. 3 planets. Okay, fantastic. An M-class has -3. Okay, very, very empty space. 6, 5. -3 is 2 planets there. Next, I'm not going to roll twice here. A 1 and a 5. Wow, well, you see, these are my Star Trek dice. That's why they're rolling so low. So the next type, M -3, 1 or less. Okay, so 1 or less, and that puts us on a 0. It doesn't actually have any planets around it. Quite useful. The next one's a K-type, -2, and I rolled a 5 for that one, so 1 there. So not a lot of planets. Aha. Okay, so that's a 19, so that would be 10 planets. -3 is 7. That's the most populous system so far. And the next one was an 8. So that's 5. -3 is 2. And then the last one, a type K, and it gets a 13. 13 is a 7, so 7. Okay, so not a huge amount of planets knocking about in this space. But already my brain is going, that type M star system, the 3rd star system in the sector, with 0 planets. There's some cool stuff that could be happening in an empty solar system. Specifically, it's an empty solar system, so why are we picking up all kinds of gravimetric distortions? It's an empty solar system, so why is someone sending a distress call from the solar system? It's an empty solar system, so why is there a spatial rift opening in it? You know, all those kind of cool and wonderful things, and I think that's really fun. Okay, now we move on to the actual planetary systems themselves. And there's a beautiful write-up of all the different classifications of different types of planets and things, which is really cool. Right, worlds upon worlds. So divide by 4 and round up between the inner and outer planets. Okay, cool. So we can even go to the number of moons, which I think is really awesome. And here is where, I mean, you certainly can plot out everything. I'm going to just work with the first system. So this is our G-type star with a stellar flares type 1, and it's got 3 planets, planet 1, planet 2, and planet 3. And the planet 1 is going to be a, let's make it an inner world. And so planet 1, inner world, here we go. It is a 17, a D-type or an asteroid belt. I'm going to say D, class D. So class D is the first planet. Little planet in orbit around this G-type star. Then we're going to go to a primary world, which will be our second planet. And that is an 11. Oh, M class. Okay, great stuff. M class. It's going to have a slightly shorter day than most others, maybe, or maybe a longer day. I don't know. We'll find out. And then the third one is an outer world, and that is an 8, which gets us a Class J Giant. Nice. Very nice. Class J Giant, and I'm going to say it's got a ring around it, because why not? Number of moons. So Class D has, 2. It's got 1 moon. 1 little moon. And you've got to do the voice. And the M class has an 8, which is 1 little moon. And then the Jovian, of course, I rolled a 20, natural 20. It's got 5 plus moons. Great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Lovely. And I've even drawn a little picture, as you cannot see there, of the solar system, because that's how my brain works. Okay, getting there swiftly. Do you see how quickly? We can then go into the sizes and all that kind of stuff. That's really specific information, which is great. It's great. Not a problem. Now, do you see when I was talking about the different biomes? They've got caves, deserts, forests, jungles, mountains and hills, plains, swamps, cold biomes, and water biomes, which I think is really awesome. Those are kind of what you need specifically. So let's jump into cave system. It's up to you to decide on what you want in terms of the planets. So I'm going to say class D is, let's go with a cave system because I think that's really cool. And I'm going to roll for the cave system type. So I'm going to just write here caves. It's a type 7, which is Fissure Network. Fissure Network. Great stuff. And let's just go and have a look very, very quickly at what Fissure Networks. Traits: dark, steep edges, vertical climb. Oh, Fissure Networks are comprised of many deep cracks in the cavern's floor that vary in width and depth. Okay, really cool. I like that. And, well, I mean, caves. It's a thing. Deep Space Nine had one set of caves, fair enough, which was actually taken from the Next Generation's set of caves, and Voyager used the same set of caves, and they just tried to dress it as best they could, but we knew. But we loved it anyway. Lots of climbing and that sort of thing. Right, so our Class M is not going to have a cave system, and you see they've even got events in there. So it's like, look, we can add in some cool stuff whilst the game is running or before the game is running. We can create our adventures. Do you see what I mean about how this just creates adventures on its own? Look at the minerals, even the mineral types. Benamite, which is used in quantum slipstream drives. I mean, guys, this is gold. Absolute gold. Gallicite, dilithium, Diboridium. I want some diboridium, some chemosite, which is very explosive. That much we knew, and it was also unstable. If you can name the episode in which chemosite formed a method of, well, let's just say little orange aliens. Well, if you can name the episode, put it in the comments down below. I challenge you. What episode am I talking about where chemosite was involved? Right, so we've got more cave stuff, cave missions. There's 20 missions for you to choose from. So I'm just going to randomly roll and see what it suggests. Number 20, a cavern-dwelling organism's secretions are valuable crystalline strands. Are we going to go and save that cave creature? Are we going to go and set up an exploitation of that cave creature? Do we find a cave creature that is not in its cave? It's been, secretly stolen away. Is it being smuggled somewhere else? Is it being used for some kind of medical purposes? Are those crystalline strands attracting something? So many things just pop out. So many things pop out. I love it. Right. So we've got one Class M planet left. I don't want it to be a desert, although deserts are very, very, very awesome. I like the idea of forests. So let's see what type of forest we have here for our M-class planet. 15. Oh, Petrified. Petrified forest. Now, of course, Star Trek generally deals in monobiomes. The entire planet is X. Yeah, we know that that's not true. That's not really how planets work. But it is a useful starting point to then say, okay, cool, well, you beam down to the Petrified Forest section because that's where the signal is coming from. You don't beam down to all of the other biomes that exist on this planet. Petrified Forest, I love it. Let's have a look and see what they talk about with regard to Petrified Forests. On some planetary surfaces, mineral-rich rainfall can create a petrification process, turning the trees there to stone. Trees that have started to die succumb to this process much more quickly than those that are alive. More often than not, petrified forests are created by unchecked industrial pollution from societies that haven't yet recognized the ramifications of what they're putting into their atmosphere. Calling out to you, Earth. No, we just went with acid, didn't we? We're just going to melt everything. Right, so we can then look at different types of terrain within this petrified forest, which I think could be interesting to look at. It gives us some traits, so let's do it. This petrified forest exists in an 18, which is a swamp. Petrified forest swamp. Okay. I mean, it just sounds like an amazing away mission already. Swamp. So the traits it gets exposed to the elements. Yes, we know. And the elements are slowly turning things to stone. Fetid water. Swarming insects. 2 2, wet 3. Oh, that's just nasty. That's absolutely nasty. So wet 3, you can say, well, everything gets wet, your equipment doesn't work, you've got lots of swimming exercises to do, there's a risk of drowning. Swarming insects 2, every hour that you're down there and out of an EVA suit, you take 2 stress from all of the stinging, biting. I really do not like this petrified forest, especially because if you're out for too long, you return to find that your shuttle has slowly been glued to the surface of the planet by the amount of mineral deposits that are sedimenting on it. Just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so, folks, I mean, there's just more biomes and things that we can add in. And again, there's just lots. I mean, we're in jungle already. There's lots of adventures. Spores, gotta love spores. Wait, where did we go? Here we go. Adventure hooks for forests, apart from this petrified thing. Number 9. New building material found. Oh, well, the petrified trees actually can be used to build something. Or there's something in the swamp water that can be used to purify the atmosphere. And so the Federation have been called in to help the locals set up a purification plant to process the water to purify their air. Only not necessarily everyone wants that to happen. I mean, the sky's the limit, guys. So we've got some really cool, a single very cool system. It took us less than 20 minutes to set this thing up. We've already got 2 systems mapped out already, because there's one that only has 0 planets in it, so that was really easy. But we are well on our way. And I think if you don't see the value of this book, then, well, you know what? Then you don't see the value of this book. Don't buy it. That's how it works. So, yeah, that's the rest of the book. And I think it's just so cool. It's so cool. So cool. Next week I return where I have an amazing bunch of players who will be showing you exactly how they handle Starship combat. It's a live recording of our game. And I have to say, well, I'm not going to say anything. All I'm going to say is that there was one roll that saved everybody. That's all I'm going to say. One roll literally saved everybody. If it had been failed, it would have been a very different outcome. Anyway, I look forward to seeing your comments about today's video, as well as next week's video. Remember to hit that like button, because that's what explorers do. They like planet systems and they keep going back to them. You should do the same thing, or you should hit the bell button to alert you when new videos drop, which is every Tuesday. So if you haven't yet noticed the pattern, there it is. Until next week, all I have to say is...
live long and happy gaming.